Welcome back to That Haunted Show. I'm your ghost host with the most, and today we're talking about the Night Movers. You might be wondering what the Night Movers are. Well, buckle up, because we're going to get right into it. You ever get the urge to just start over? Not move to another city, or change your name, or get a haircut? But I'm talking about erasing everything. Your name, your debt, your family, gone. Well, in Japan, that fantasy isn't just a figure of speech. It's an entire industry. They call them the Night Movers. Yoru no Hikoshira. And I probably butchered that, but it's a group of people that will sneak you out of your life in total silence while the world sleeps. Sounds fictional, sounds made up, but I guarantee you, if you give it a quick Google search, you'll see that it is a real business and it's terrifying, but also kind of makes sense for something to be like that. The Night Movers grew out of something older, the phenomenon of Johatsu, or the Evaporated people. After the economic crash in the 1990s, thousands just up and vanished. No missing person reports, no body. They'd leave a toothbrush by the sink and slippers still in place. And they just disappear into Japan's underbelly. These movers aren't advertised on billboards. No, their business travels by whispers. So, a little hush hush. They don't ask questions, and you don't give answers. And they only take payments in cash. And the creepiness about it? It's in the details. Because they specialize in silence. They tape over window cracks. The engines are off when they roll into the driveway. Box is wrapped so tight that nothing makes a noise when they're moving it. Imagine an entire life being loaded into a truck without making a single sound. This is what these guys specialize in. And in our first case, the failed salarymen. In 1995, a salaryman named Hiroshi Takada. Fictional name for privacy purposes, of course, because dude paid a lot of money to disappear. He had lost everything in the economic crash. Debt collectors at his door. Wife gone. Credit ruined. And one night, he searched something strange online. Disappear Tokyo. Help. A few hours later, a burner phone number appeared on his phone. He claims he paid the movers in an alley behind a pachinko parlor. They told him to sleep, and when he woke, they'd be gone. And so would his old life. Witnesses say his apartment was found spotless. Food was still warm. Bed made properly. Toothbrush missing. He was never seen again. Except 3 years later, someone swore they saw him working at the night shift of a laundromat 2 towns over. He didn't respond to his name. And honestly, neither would I. I would grow my beard out, or grow a beard if I could grow a beard, and then shave my head, and maybe have a long, elaborate name that I would have to remember, and do everything I could to make sure I didn't respond to my old identity. But maybe disappearing isn't just about fear, but about rebirth. But here's where the line blurs. When you hire someone to erase you, how much of you survives? And who keeps the leftovers of all those lives? The letters, the photos, the memories left behind? There's a story that the movers sometimes keep one item from every client, like a token, a way to remember what they erased. And to me, personally, throwing off some serial killer vibes, and I don't know if I'm into that, or I'm comfortable with that. What did they take? Would they tell you what they took? It's very interesting. I don't want to think about it too much. A 22-year-old university student from Osaka named Yumi faced crushing shame after failing exams and lying to her parents. And in 2011, she contacted the night relocation service. Her roommate claimed that she had heard soft footsteps around 3 a.m., but by sunrise, Yumi's bed was gone. Not just the sheets, but the entire effing bed frame. The only indentation that was left was from the posts of the bed. Everything was gone. Can you imagine waking up and your roommate has just disappeared and all of her shit vanished with her? That'd be kind of nuts. A year later, her mother reported receiving a blank postcard mailed from northern Hokkaido. Nope, I can't pronounce that one. No handwriting, just an address on it that went to nowhere. One of the strangest reports came from a mover himself. He said a client called asking to be moved out of a remote cabin. When they arrived, the place was empty, but all the lights were on. Everything was as if someone was there. A payment envelope was neatly on the table. They packed the belongings anyway, thinking maybe the client chickened out because they didn't see him. There was nobody there. But 2 weeks later, the same movers received another call from the same number requesting the same job. And when they traced it, the number didn't exist. And at that cabin, it had burnt down 10 years earlier. Needless to say, they quit their job the next day. But where did they go if they went to it previously? You know? Well, they went somewhere. Clearly the cabin wasn't burnt down when they went to it, especially if it was recent. There wasn't a time frame. The night movers aren't monsters. They're mirrors, showing us how badly some people want to live without being seen. Maybe they're helping people vanish, or maybe they're harvesting the pieces that were left behind. Every society has ghosts. Japan's just made an industry out of them. So next time you pass a small white truck idling under a neon sign, look twice. And if you see faces in the window that don't look back, maybe don't wave, maybe don't acknowledge them. Because if you do, they might assume you want to disappear too. And I don't want that, because I want you to come back and watch the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.